Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Mood616 here, and yes, I'm back with another Top 10 Tuesday video. This is episode 81, and this week we're going to be talking about public domain horror films. Now, if you're familiar with public domain horror films, you know that there's a lot out there. There is a shit ton of public domain horror films, and what that means is basically nobody owns the rights to these films, so they can pretty much be put out by anybody at any time. Public domain films, man. I was doing a little bit of research, and I started compiling a list of the ones that I knew off the top of my head, and I was amazed to find out a bunch more that were public domain. I was like, that's really crazy. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into this. In at number 10 is a personal favorite of mine, The Brain That Wouldn't Die. I seen this film when I was a young kid, and I absolutely fell in love with it. Yeah, it's a really fun film about a doctor that loses his wife in a car accident. He keeps her severed head, and now he's like on a mission to find a body for it because he's kept the head alive. And so that's a film. I won't say anything else about it, but really, really fun film. And I do recommend this edition. I know this was put out by Synapse on DVD, which I also do have, but this edition of it from Scream Factory actually has the Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode, which is really cool, man, that they put that on there. I think that's a really cool feature to have. So The Brain That Wouldn't Die, you know, it's a cheesy film, but it's super fun, from the early 60s. And yeah, I want to see 1962, so really cool stuff. The Brain That Wouldn't Die. Give it a shot. Fun stuff. In at number 9 is a film called Horror Express. This one is actually directed by a Spanish director. This is like a Spanish-American production, I believe, or Spanish-UK. I think it's American. I'm not even 100% sure. Of course, starring Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. Christopher Lee plays a scientist who figures that he has come across the next, huge scientific breakthrough with finding like this frozen ape-man type deal. And then soon after, he's transporting it in Europe, this thing kind of awakens and starts killing off people in this train. Then he gets some help from Peter Cushing, and of course, more people start getting picked off one by one. And there's lots of things going on in this one. It's such a fun film. I love horror films set on trains. I don't know what it is about the train setting, but it's just cool, man. It's just such a cool setting. Really great performances by Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, and that other guy that's in here, Sylvia Totorsa, or I think that's what his name is. Really cool too, man. But yeah, if you've never seen Horror Express, check this one out. I know Severin has put out a Blu-ray of this, which I need to seek out someday and get rid of my Snapper Case edition from the Euroshock collection released by Image. But it's fine for now. But Horror Express, yeah, check it out. Pretty cool film. All right, so in at number 8 is a film all the way back from 1932, and it's called Vampire. Now, this film right here is it's got a lot of history, a lot of, there's a lot of really quirky things with this film and stuff. But it's a masterpiece in my opinion. Visually, lots of cool editing in this film. It's got a really simple story about a guy that ends up at this hotel or this inn and discovers that this girl is like turning into a vampire and stuff. But this one right here it's just a fantastic, fantastic film. It's really interesting because people a lot of times always comment on the kind of the washed out look of this one, and the PQ can be really rough at times. Well, it was actually kind of accidentally shot like that, I believe, on exposed film or something like that, so it actually gave it that look, which adds to the uniqueness of the film because it's a really interesting story. Mixed with really cool visuals, great acting, cool music and things like that. This one really does have it all. From 1932, originally shot as a silent film, and has got, German dialogue and, English subtitles and stuff. But I couldn't recommend this edition enough from Criterion. It is ridiculous. Look at this thing, man. Damn. Got the whole book, everything in it. Just ridiculous. But yeah, if you want to check out a very unique horror film from the early 30s, check out Vampire. It's just a fantastic, fantastic film. Don't want to say anything more about it. You just got to see it for yourself. It's really cool and unique. And then do some research on it too, because it's kind of cool to know all the little quirky facts and things about the film. It's pretty interesting. So that is Vampire. In at number 8. In at number 7 is a film I didn't even know was a public domain film, and yeah, another one here from Criterion, and it's Diabolique, the French film from 1955. It's basically kind of a revenge film about this wife who is married to this very, very vicious headmaster of the school, and he's just a fucking dick to her. And basically the headmaster's actually got a mistress that the wife knows about, and they team up together to kind of get some revenge on the bastard. And yeah, then you got Diabolique. Really, really amazing film. Really cool for its time. I know this one was remade, I think, in the 2000s or some shit. I never did see that, but yeah, if you've never seen Diabolique, give this one a shot, man. Oh, it just looks fantastic on Blu-ray. It looks really crazy. But yeah, this was one that I was very interested to find out that it was a public domain film, so I didn't even have any idea. So, but yeah, Diabolique, that's really, really cool. In at number 7. In at number 6 is actually another one. I think I did know that this one was a public domain film, but I wasn't sure, so I had to like look it up. And sure as shit, I did find it on a bunch of lists. So, or a bunch of public domain lists, because there's actually like literally lists of public domain films. So, and that is, well, here, I'll open this. Coffin Joe. Yes. At Midnight, I Will Take Your Soul from 1964. Really awesome film. If you guys are familiar with Coffin Joe character, you know what I'm talking about. Just awesome shit. Basically, yeah, this Undertaker, or this fucking, I guess he's almost like the town bully. I think he is yeah, he's actually an Undertaker. Basically, his wife cannot, you know, give him a child, so he takes it upon himself to, you know, kind of go out of his way to start doing really, really bad shit to people. I ends up killing this guy's wife, or killing this guy and then raping his wife so she could conceive his child and stuff. But of course, it doesn't really work out so well, and she ends up killing herself. And yeah, and then it just kind of goes from there. Yeah, really fucking cool film. I love the visuals. It's kind of mean-spirited at times, and that's what I really like about this film. It's just kind of hard for its time. 1964, Spanish. I mean, really, you can't go wrong with anything Coffin Joe. But yeah, if you've never seen any of these movies, I highly recommend checking out. I don't think that's gonna focus because there we go. All these movies are fantastic. And The Night Will Possess Your Corpse is just fantastic. It's got one scene in this film that's in color, and it's just so freaking bizarre. So bizarre. But I recommend all this shit. Coffin Joe collection. Awesome stuff. So that was in at number 6. In at number 5 is one film that no matter how many times I watch it makes me gag. And that is I Drink Your Blood. Now, I know Grindhouse is putting this out on Blu-ray shortly, and I can't wait for that Blu-ray because I can't wait to see what the transfer is going to look like. Because, you know, this edition that they put out years ago, you know, it's a little rough looking, but then again, this movie is super low budget and just rough around the edges anyways. But basically, it's about these kind of hippie drifters or whatever. They end up raping this town girl, and her family owns a store. Anyways, they happen to be in the city or in the little town, and they're looking for food. Well, the brother ends up killing this rabid dog, and he puts the blood of the rabid dog into these meat pies and feeds it to these hippies. Well, they go crazy, you know, they go rabid and shit, and it just escalates from there. It's just such a gross film. Oh man, when he's injecting the meat pies with the blood, it irritates me, man. It's so disgusting. Makes me gag, but I love it. So Drink Your Blood, such a fantastic film. Absolutely love this one. If you've never seen it, give it a shot. It's just awesome. Yeah, rabid drug-infested hippies on blood-crazed killing spree. It's essentially what the whole movie is. It's just pretty awesome stuff. So yeah, I Drink Your Blood. Fantastic stuff. And that was number 5. And number 4 is just a classic film. Spider Baby. Yeah, what can I say? Jack Hill. Fantastic film. Really good stuff. Basically about these kids that have this really odd disease that they kind of regress back into childhood, but they retain their adult status in a way. And it's just a really unique film, also known as The Maddest Story Ever Told. Lon Chaney Jr.'s in this one, does a great performance and stuff. And Sid Haig's in this film, among people. But I'm not really going to say much about this one if you've never seen it, because I don't want to give anything away. But this one is not a killer spider film, if you're wondering. I know this one was one of our least watched episodes on the podcast, and it was just such a shame because this movie is pretty much almost a 10 out of 10. It's just a fantastic film. It's nothing what you expect it to be, and that's the best thing about it, because it shocks you. It's really good stuff, really awesome acting and set pieces in this one, and just a really unique story. So check out Spider Baby. It's really good. And of course, that was number 4. In at number 3 is the classic German expressionism film, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. I mean, really, if you've never seen this movie, you need to get up on your game and check this out, because this is like just amazing expressionism, man. Like the visuals and the set pieces and the way this thing's shot and acted and music. Oh, it's just a brilliant film. And that's really all I'm going to say about it. It's just horror, man. It's just like such a horror film. 1920, you know, just that is crazy, man. So, you know, such an early classic horror film, but The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. And I do recommend this Kino Blu-ray. It looks fantastic on this. So, yeah. In at number 3, in at number 2 is Carnival of Souls from, when did Carnival of Souls come? 1960? 1962. Yeah, just a amazing film about a girl that gets in this car accident, ends up, you know, surviving it, moves along and gets this job, and just kind of moves on with her life and stuff. And then she starts seeing like this image of this dude and shit like that. And again, another film I don't want to really say too much about, but Carnival of Souls, fantastic. Absolutely love the ending of this movie. It's just brilliant. Again, awesome visuals. It's really fucking creepy. This movie, every time I watch Carnival of Souls, it sticks with me. It always gets stuck in my mind. I love this movie to death. One of my favorite movies of all time. I've really come to appreciate this movie in the last couple of years even more. I've never seen it many times growing up, but now it's just one of my favorite films of all time. And another release by Criterion, of course, right? So Criterion taking these public domain films and turning them into really good editions. This edition's really cool, actually, because it has both the cuts on it. It's got the theatrical and the director's cut on it, too. And I know that Criterion's putting out this Blu-ray soon, but I believe the director's cut is not going to be on it for some odd reason. I don't know why they would do that. Maybe they just couldn't, you know, put it into HD. But it doesn't mean they couldn't put it in standard definition. But anyways, Carnival of Souls, I'm rambling on. And at number 2. And at number 1, of course, is no surprise, and that is going to be not Tom Savini's Night of the Living Dead, George Romero's Night of the Living Dead from 1968. Yeah, this is the umbrella release, if you're wondering. It's, you know, got both versions on Blu-ray in here. That's why I accidentally had it on the wrong side. But anyways, yeah, we all know the story behind Romero's film accidentally not getting copyrighted properly and going public domain and things like that. Such a shame, man, because it's just one of the best movies of all time. The most influential film in the last 50 years, in my opinion. But yeah, Night of the Living Dead, classic stuff. I realized when I started doing this list, I actually forgot Nosferatu. So if you're screaming at me going, where the hell's Nosferatu? Yeah, I actually forgot to put it on this list. So among films, there's just so many damn good public domain films as, you know, making this list up. And, you know, there was films like Manos was one I really wanted to put on the list because that movie's so bad it's awesome. Driller Killer, I Bury the Living, The Bat Terrorism Man is another really great one. There's tons of creature features from like the 50s and stuff like that are public domain. So Horror Hotel, The Terror, Last Man on Earth, 2000 Maniacs, like the list just goes on and on with great public domain films. So anyways, guys, once again, break this down. The Brain That Wouldn't Die in number 10. Number 9, Horror Express. Number 8, Vampire. Number 7, Diabolique. Number 6, At Midnight, I'll Take Your Soul. Number 5, I'll Drink Your Blood. Number 4, The Spider Baby. Number 3, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Number 2, Carnival of Souls. And of course, in at number 1 is Night of the Living Dead, George A. Romero. Yes. So that is going to conclude my top 10 public domain films. And I mean, it's really not, because Nosferatu should be in this list because somewhere, anyways, probably would have bumped out something, obviously, but can't believe I actually forgot that. But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for the list, and I will check you next week. And as always, peace out, homies.